Tallahassee, Gov. Rick Scott and U.S. Sen. Bill Nelson, widely expected to battle this year for Nelson's Senate seat, said Thursday they both intend to fight a Trump administration plan to open previously protected parts of the Atlantic Ocean and eastern Gulf of Mexico to offshore oil and gas drilling. Scott said he has requested a meeting with Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke to discuss opposition to President Donald Trump's effort to expand domestic energy production. I have already asked to immediately meet with Secretary Zinke to discuss the concerns I have with this plan and the crucial need to remove Florida from consideration, Scott said in a statement. In the announcement Thursday, Zinke said nearly all of the nation's outer continental shelf, a jurisdictional term describing submerged lands 10.36 statutory miles off Florida's west coast and 3 nautical miles off the east coast, will be considered for drilling. Scott was not the only Florida Republican criticizing the proposal. U.S. Rep. Vern Buchanan, of Longboat Key, called the proposal reckless, misguided and potentially catastrophic to Florida. But the Florida Petroleum Council, an industry group, hailed the Trump administration move as a way to benefit state consumers by potentially creating jobs and additional government revenue while strengthening national security. Allowing us to explore our offshore energy will boost our state economy and spur investment, all while safely coexisting with our agriculture, tourism, and fishing industries as well as U.S. military operations, Council Executive Director David Mica said in a statement. Aliki Moncrief, of the Florida Conservation Voters, described the proposal as reckless and added that it's refreshing to see Scott catching up with what Sen. Nelson has been saying for years. The topic of oil drilling did not come up Sunday when Scott had lunch with Trump in Palm Beach County, Scott spokesman John Tupps said. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders on Thursday said the administration will continue to work with Scott. Our goal certainly isn't to cross Gov. Scott, she said during a daily press briefing. Just because we may differ on issues from time to time doesn't mean that we can't have an incredibly strong and good relationship. Under Zinke's proposal, which must still go through a public comment period and potential revisions, 90% of the nation's offshore reserves would be open to leasing between 2019 and 2024. Money raised from the leases would go toward improving national parks. Nelson, a Democrat, penned the plan as an assault on Florida's economy, our national security, the will of the public, and the environment. This proposal defies all common sense, and I will do everything I can to defeat it, Nelson said in a statement. In 2006, Nelson and then U.S. Sen. Mel Martinez, RFLA, brokered a deal to ban drilling off Florida's Gulf Coast through 2022. Nelson has long maintained that oil rigs being too close to Florida's shoreline could impact the state's tourism-driven economy and military training areas in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Environmental groups expressed a similar view Thursday.